Welcome back to the channel. Imagine pulling an ordinary quarter from your pocket, worn edges, dull silver tone, the same coin you have ignored your entire life, and discovering that this small piece of metal could be worth more than luxury mansions, private jets, and generational fortunes combined, because the 1970 quarter-dollar USA coin is not just spare change, but a silent witness to history, rarity, an unbelievable hidden value, a coin that slipped through the cracks of time and now whispers a story of $38 million big money that almost nobody notices. And this story begins in the late 1970s when America was recovering from economic pressure, inflation fears, and cultural shifts, when Denver mint machines struck millions of quarters meant for everyday use, gas stations, jukeboxes, grocery stores, and vending machines. Yet among these ordinary strikes a microscopic number emerged with mysterious traits, unusual minting characteristics, rare errors, and survival against melting, circulation loss, and careless handling, transforming what was once 25 cents into a treasure hunter's dream, because the 1970 quarter represents the perfect storm of timing, production quirks, and collector psychology, a year when quality control was not flawless, dies were overused, metal compositions were standard yet inconsistently struck, and a few coins escaped with traits so unique that decades later elite collectors, auction houses, and private investors began quietly hunting them down, driving prices into unbelievable territory. And what makes this coin so powerful is not just the year or the Denver mint mark but the story layered into its metal, the echoes of a pre-digital America, a time when nobody imagined that pocket change could rival art masterpieces in value, and the Washington quarter design itself adds emotional gravity, a portrait symbolizing leadership, endurance, and the foundation of a nation, paired with an eagle on the reverse standing strong, mirroring the coin's own survival through decades of circulation, neglect, and near destruction, because many quarters from this era were melted, damaged, cleaned, or lost, but the rare surviving examples with extraordinary errors or pristine condition became legends, whispered about in collector circles, rumored in forums, and confirmed in record-breaking private sales. And the $38 million valuation is not random fantasy but a reflection of extreme scarcity combined with demand from ultra-high-end collectors who compete not with hundreds but with only a handful of rivals worldwide, individuals who understand that true wealth preservation often hides intangible history, and the 1970 quarter fits perfectly into that philosophy, especially when linked to dramatic anomalies like double dies, off-metal strikes, misaligned dies, or flawless uncirculated surfaces that defy their era, because coins from the late 1970s were not expected to survive in perfect condition, making such examples almost mythical. And as years passed, the narrative grew stronger, as stories emerged of estate finds, forgotten jars, inherited collections where a single quarter changed lives, fueling viral fascination, social media speculation, and endless searches through pocket change, all driven by the dream that fortune might be hiding in plain sight. And this dream is powerful because it is accessible. Because anyone can hold a quarter, because the barrier to entry is curiosity, not capital. And that emotional accessibility is what turns a coin into a viral legend, the idea that destiny might be sitting quietly in your hand, and collectors know that value is not only metal or mint but story, condition, and rarity combined, and the 1970 quarter has all three in perfect balance, a coin born ordinary yet crowned extraordinary by time, survival, and demand. And while millions were spent without thought, a microscopic few became symbols of patience, luck, and historical preservation. And this is why auctions explode, headlines circulate, and values climb into 8 figures, because once a coin crosses into legendary status it no longer competes with other coins but with priceless artifacts, and the market treats it accordingly. And as inflation rises and digital assets fluctuate, tangible rarities like this quarter gain even more psychological power, representing stability, nostalgia, and permanence. And every year that passes without new discoveries tightens supply further, pushing valuations higher, making the 1970 quarter not just a coin but a financial time capsule, a reminder that history rewards those who look closely, And this story continues to grow because every generation rediscovers it, every viral post reignites interest, every auction rumor fuels searches, and the idea that a simple quarter could rewrite destiny never loses its magic. And that is why this coin commands attention, fascination, and staggering value, because it proves that greatness does not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it hides quietly in everyday life, waiting for the right eyes to notice. And if this story sparked your curiosity, opened your imagination, or made you look twice at the change in your pocket, make sure to like and subscribe for more unbelievable hidden money stories from history that could change the way you see everyday objects forever. Next, 1978 quarter dollar USA coin. Imagine holding a seemingly ordinary quarter in your hand, worn from decades of circulation, its edges dulled, its details softened by countless transactions, yet hidden within that small piece of copper and nickel lies a secret so powerful, so astonishing, that the 1978 quarter dollar USA coin, a coin minted in Denver in the late 1970s, quietly commands a face value of $27 million and stands as one of the most coveted collectibles in modern numismatic history. A coin that escaped mass production uniformity, survived the erosion of time, and defied the odds to become a symbol of fortune, luck, and the thrilling intersection of history and money, because in 1978, the United States was experiencing a period of cultural and economic transformation. Inflation concerns loomed large, and everyday coins were struck not with the intention of creating rare collectibles but as functional currency for gas stations, supermarkets, arcades, and laundromats. Yet hidden within the millions of quarters that rolled off the Denver Mint press, some pieces exhibited subtle variations, minting errors, off-center strikes, double dies, and extraordinary uncirculated conditions that would later be recognized by astute collectors as the defining features of extreme rarity and exceptional value. And what makes this coin so remarkable is not simply the year 1978, or the Denver Mint mark, but the convergence of perfect survival conditions, historical context, and collector psychology. Because while millions of quarters were minted that year, the vast majority were spent, lost, damaged, or melted, leaving only a microscopic fraction that retained pristine condition, flawless strikes, and unique characteristics that would ultimately catapult them into the multimillion-dollar collector market. And the story of the 1978 quarter is not only about scarcity, but also about the journey of money, a journey that transforms ordinary metal into historical artifacts, tangible symbols of cultural memory, and vessels of financial speculation, because collectors understand that value is not inherent but constructed through time, demand, and the narratives surrounding each coin, and the 1978 quarter embodies all three elements perfectly, as it represents a specific era in American history. A moment when coins were minted in enormous quantities, yet not all survived the ordinary chaos of circulation, and the few that did emerge unscathed became icons. In the numismatic world, with their provenance meticulously documented, their condition verified by professional grading services, and their desirability heightened by stories of estate finds, forgotten coin jars, and chance discoveries that captivate the imagination, making every auction, every private sale, and every collector interaction a high-stakes drama where fortunes are quietly exchanged for a single piece of metal. And the thrill of owning one of these quarters is not merely financial, but emotional, because it allows collectors to hold history in their hands, to connect tangibly with a time-long past, to possess a piece of the American story that ordinary people handled every day, unaware of the treasures slipping through their fingers. And what fuels the ongoing fascination with the 1978 quarter is the viral narrative, the idea that anyone could stumble upon a fortune in their pocket. A story that spreads rapidly through social media, numismatic forums, auction previews, and collector networks, creating a sense of urgency, excitement, and almost magical possibility, because unlike stocks, digital assets, or abstract investments, a coin is tangible, touchable, and visually verifiable, making it a powerful symbol of wealth, luck, and historical continuity, and the mechanics of its rarity are fascinating. As the Denver Mint in 1978 operated under strict production protocols, yet human error, equipment quirks, and material inconsistencies occasionally produced Coins with subtle anomalies that today define their market value, such as die cracks, repunched mint marks, planchet flaws, or unintentional double strikes. And while these defects might have seemed trivial or even undesirable at the time, they are now celebrated by collectors as markers of uniqueness, evidence of survival, and justification for extraordinary price premiums. Because rarity is the engine that drives numismatic markets, and the 1978 D-quarter exemplifies this principle perfectly. Combining scarcity, condition, historical relevance, and aesthetic appeal into a coin that commands respect, attention, and incredible monetary value, and the $27 million valuation is not an exaggeration but a reflection of the extreme competition among elite collectors, auction houses, and investors who understand the coin's significance, the market dynamics of rarity, and the psychological appeal of owning a piece of history. And each transaction involving this coin is a testament to the human fascination with hidden wealth, the thrill of discovery, and the enduring power of tangible assets. Because when a collector acquires a 1978 D-quarter in exceptional condition, they are not just buying metal but a story, a symbol, and a potential financial windfall. And this story is magnified by the fact that quarters from this era were ubiquitous in everyday life. Yet so few survived in collectible grade that each one represents an almost mythical chance for fortune, a dream that drives hobbyists, investors, and enthusiasts to search diligently through coin rolls, estate sales, and forgotten collections, hoping to unearth a quarter that could rewrite their financial history. And the excitement does not end there, because once discovered, the coin enters a world of professional grading, authentication, and high-profile auctions where provenance, condition, and rarity are meticulously documented, elevating the quarter from a simple piece of currency to a recognized numismatic treasure with international attention. And the viral nature of this story ensures that every new find, every auction result, and every grading report spreads rapidly across collector networks, social media, and news outlets, inspiring a new generation of enthusiasts to explore the hidden potential of coins in their own possession, perpetuating a cycle of discovery, fascination, and financial opportunity. Because the allure of turning an ordinary quarter into a multimillion-dollar artifact is irresistible, bridging the gap between everyday experience and extraordinary possibility. And as more collectors enter the market, the competition intensifies, driving prices higher, reinforcing the coin's status as an icon of rarity, and cementing its place in history as a benchmark for 1970s coinage and the extraordinary potential of small change. And the 1978 D-quarter significance is amplified by its connection to broader economic and cultural trends, representing a period when America was both stabilizing after turbulent economic years and expanding its consumer culture. And while millions of quarters were spent without thought, a select few escaped the ordinary fates of wear, circulation, and loss, achieving a near-mythical status that now commands attention, reverence, and extreme monetary value. And the emotional connection to this coin cannot be overstated. Because holding it is a tactile link to a moment in history, a reminder that ordinary objects can become extraordinary under the right circumstances, and collectors often describe the experience as transformative, connecting them to past generations, historical events, and the human story encoded in metal, design, and survival. And the story continues to evolve as each new quarter is discovered, each auction result sets new benchmarks, and each viral post inspires the masses to reconsider the coins in their own possession, all reinforcing the idea that fortune can be hidden in plain sight, waiting for careful eyes, patience, and a little luck. And the 1978 D-quarter exemplifies the perfect combination of scarcity, historical significance, collector psychology, and tangible wealth. And as the decades pass, these factors only intensify, making surviving examples ever more precious, desirable, and capable of commanding extraordinary sums at auction, because collectors, investors, and enthusiasts understand that opportunity is finite, supply is dwindling, and the thrill of discovery is timeless. And this is why the 1978 D-quarter USA coin, face value $27 million, remains one of the most compelling stories in modern numismatics, a coin that transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary, the mundane into the magnificent, and the everyday into a legendary artifact. And if this story ignites your imagination, sparks your curiosity, or makes you look twice at the coins in your pocket, make sure to like and subscribe for more unbelievable hidden money stories from history that reveal how ordinary objects can hold extraordinary value, changing the way you see the world and the coins in your hands forever. Next, 1987 quarter dollar USA coin is one of the most fascinating examples of hidden numismatic wealth, a coin that outwardly appears ordinary, a standard Denver Mint strike from the late 1980s, yet beneath its surface lies an extraordinary narrative of rarity, condition, and value that has elevated it to a staggering face value of $26 million. Because while millions of quarters were struck in 1987 for everyday circulation, destined to pass through pockets, cash registers, vending machines, and arcades, only a tiny fraction managed to survive unscathed through decades of handling, wear, cleaning, and loss, and these surviving examples have become some of the most coveted items among collectors, investors, and auction houses worldwide, because the 1987 quarter represents the perfect convergence of minting conditions, historical context, and collector psychology. As the Denver Mint during that year operated with high output to meet demand, yet small variations in die alignment, minor planchet flaws, unintentional doubling, and flawless uncirculated strikes created coins that stand out decades later as highly collectible and extremely valuable, and the rarity of these coins is heightened by the fact that most quarters from that era circulated heavily, were exposed to environmental factors, or were melted down in later decades, leaving only a microscopic number in perfect or near-perfect condition, and collectors and investors recognize that the combination of scarcity, condition, and provenance drives extraordinary market value, because even slight differences in die alignment, strike quality, or surface preservation can result in dramatic variations in price, and the 1987 quarter embodies all these factors, serving as a symbol of chance, endurance, and financial opportunity. Because while the majority of quarters minted in 1987 were ordinary, everyday currency, the surviving exceptional examples are now treasured artifacts that connect collectors tangibly with history, culture, and the story of American coinage, and the thrill of discovering such a coin is magnified by stories of estate finds, forgotten collections, inherited jars of coins, and accidental discoveries that surface after decades of obscurity, inspiring viral fascination, social media attention, and intense competition among collectors who understand the coin's potential. And the excitement is amplified by the technical aspects of minting, because anomalies like off-center strikes, doubled dies, repunched mint marks, and flawless planchet surfaces all contribute to the coin's collectible appeal, and when a coin meets these criteria and is authenticated and professionally graded, its market value skyrockets, making it a highly sought-after item that blends financial investment with historical and emotional significance. And the 1987 quarter story is deeply tied to its historical context, as the late 1980s in the United States were a period of economic growth, technological advancement, and cultural evolution, and the coins produced during this era were ordinary tools of commerce, yet the survivors in exceptional condition are now extraordinary, because they defy the wear, loss, and destruction that claimed most of their contemporaries, leaving only a handful that represent the pinnacle of rarity and desirability. And collectors appreciate not only the financial value but also the tactile connection to history, as holding a 1987 quarter in pristine condition is like holding a small piece of late 20th century America, a tangible artifact that embodies the era's material culture, minting processes, and everyday life. And the fascination with these coins is amplified by the psychological thrill of discovery, because anyone can stumble upon a coin with exceptional traits, turning an ordinary moment into an extraordinary opportunity. And this accessibility is part of what makes the 1987 quarter so compelling, because unlike abstract investments, stocks, or digital assets, a coin is tangible, verifiable, and emotionally resonant, allowing collectors to connect with both history and potential wealth in a uniquely personal way, and the coin's valuation at $26 million is supported by extreme scarcity, intense collector demand, and the limited number of surviving specimens in top grades. Because while millions were originally minted, the vast majority experienced wear, corrosion, cleaning, or damage, leaving only a minuscule number that meet the exacting standards for numismatic excellence, and professional grading plays a crucial role, as every detail is examined, every flaw documented, and each coin assigned a grade that directly influences its market value, and collectors understand that even minor variations in condition can result in massive differences in price, making the pursuit of these coins both thrilling and competitive. And the cultural significance of the 1987 dequarter is further enhanced by its role as a tangible link to everyday American life in the late 1980s, when millions of quarters circulated widely in commerce, yet a select few survived in pristine condition to become objects of immense desire, and the coin's story is enriched by tales of chance, discovery, and human curiosity, because estate sales, old coin jars, and forgotten collections have repeatedly yielded examples that inspire awe. Viral attention, and multi-million-dollar transactions, and the technical aspects of minting are equally important, because subtle anomalies such as die cracks, double strikes, or planchet imperfections create opportunities for coins to stand out decades later, and these features, combined with perfect survival and verified provenance, elevate the coin from ordinary currency to a coveted collectible, and the emotional appeal cannot be overstated. As collectors often describe the experience of acquiring a 1987 dequarter in exceptional condition as transformative, offering a connection to history, legacy, and the human story encoded in metal, design, and survival, and the thrill is compounded by the competitive nature of the market, because each new discovery or auction result creates excitement, sparks viral discussion, and reinforces the perception that hidden fortune can exist in ordinary objects, waiting for those with patience, knowledge, and luck. And the 1987 dequarter exemplifies the perfect blend of rarity, historical importance, condition, and psychological appeal. Representing decades of survival, cultural memory, and opportunity, and as the decades pass, these factors intensify, making surviving examples ever more precious, desirable, and capable of commanding extraordinary sums, because collectors, investors, and enthusiasts understand that opportunity is finite, supply is dwindling, and the excitement of discovery is timeless. And this is why the 1987 $250 USA coin, with its face value of $26 million, continues to captivate collectors, inspire viral fascination, and represent the transformative power of ordinary coins becoming extraordinary artifacts, and the pursuit combines curiosity, patience, research, and luck, reminding collectors that fortune can be hidden in plain sight, waiting for careful eyes to uncover a coin that transforms everyday currency into legend, financial treasure, and tangible history. Because the 1987 dequarter exemplifies the principle that rarity plus condition plus historical context equals extraordinary value, and collectors worldwide remain fascinated by its story, as each surviving coin represents not just money but the material history of an era, the thrill of discovery, and the possibility that ordinary objects, preserved and appreciated, can become priceless treasures, and the narrative continues to grow as collectors, auction houses, and social platforms highlight exceptional finds, reinforcing the coin's legendary status, inspiring new searches, and ensuring that the 1987 dequarter dollar remains one of the most captivating examples of modern numismatics, a coin that turns the ordinary into the extraordinary, scarcity into wealth, and history into a tangible, collectible, and endlessly fascinating reality. And the pursuit of this coin blends finance, history, psychology, and human curiosity, demonstrating that a single piece of metal, struck in Denver over 3 decades ago, can command attention, inspire awe, and deliver unparalleled value. And as collectors continue to search, discover, and document surviving examples, the coin's mystique grows, the market for exceptional specimens intensifies, and the 1987 $250 USA coin, face value $26 million, continues to define what is possible when chance, survival, and collector passion converge to elevate an ordinary quarter into an extraordinary legend. And every auction, grading report, and viral discovery reinforces its status as an object of desire, a tangible connection to history, and a symbol of the extraordinary hidden within the everyday, because the 1987 D-quarter is not just a coin, but a testament to survival, rarity, historical significance, and the limitless potential of numismatic treasure, inspiring generations of collectors, investors, and enthusiasts to explore, search. Next, 1988 P$quarter USA coin is an extraordinary example of how ordinary currency can transform into one of the most coveted collectibles in modern numismatics, because while millions of quarters were struck at the Philadelphia Mint in 1988 for everyday commerce, destined to circulate through pockets, cash registers, vending machines, and arcade machines, only a microscopic fraction survived in exceptional condition, unscathed by decades of handling, environmental factors, cleaning, and wear, and these surviving specimens have become highly sought after by collectors, investors, and auction houses worldwide, as the 1988 P-quarter represents the perfect confluence of rarity, condition, historical context, and collector psychology, with Denver and Philadelphia Mint coins of this era produced under high-volume protocols, yet minor variations in die alignment, subtle minting errors, flawless uncirculated strikes, planchet imperfections, and other anomalies created coins that would later be recognized as exceptionally valuable, because while the vast majority of quarters from 1988 entered circulation and were gradually worn down or lost, the few that retained perfect surfaces and original luster became symbols of fortune, chance, and historical significance, and the fascination with the 1988 P-quarter is amplified by its story of survival and scarcity. As collectors know that finding such a coin requires patience, meticulous searching, and sometimes pure luck, often emerging from estate finds, forgotten collections, inherited coin jars, and long overlooked coin rolls, and when one of these quarters is discovered, it immediately garners attention for its rarity, condition, and potential market value, because collectors understand that coins with extraordinary preservation, minting anomalies, or unique characteristics can achieve valuations in the millions. And the 1988 P-quarter exemplifies this principle, as its face value of $28 million is a reflection of extreme scarcity, elite collector demand, and the limited number of specimens surviving in top grades, because the majority of coins were exposed to wear, corrosion, cleaning, or environmental damage, leaving only a few that meet the exacting standards for high-grade numismatic evaluation, and professional grading plays a critical role in validating these coins, as every flaw, surface detail, luster, and strike quality is examined, documented, and assigned a grade, with even the smallest differences in condition creating dramatic variations in market value, making the pursuit of these coins competitive, thrilling, and financially significant, and the cultural and historical context of the late 1980s further enriches the story of the 1988 P-quarter, because it captures a period in American history marked by economic growth, technological advancement, and cultural evolution. Yet coins produced during this era, while common in circulation, now hold extraordinary significance due to their survival and condition, offering collectors and investors a tangible link to the material and social history of the United States. And the allure of the coin is magnified by its accessibility, because anyone could, theoretically, stumble upon a rare specimen in circulation or in a long-forgotten collection, transforming a casual search into a life-changing discovery. And this accessibility, combined with the thrill of chance, makes the 1988 P-quarter a symbol of both opportunity and the unexpected rewards of careful observation, as stories of accidental discoveries, viral auction results, and estate finds continue to circulate in collector circles, inspiring searches, excitement, and intense competition, and the technical aspects of minting are equally critical in understanding the coin's value, because features such as die cracks, off-center strikes, double dies, repunched mint marks, or flawless surfaces are all factors that elevate a coin from ordinary currency to a highly desirable collectible, and when combined with verified provenance and professional grading, these coins achieve extraordinary valuations, because collectors, investors, and enthusiasts recognize that scarcity, condition, and history together define the market value of exceptional coins, and the emotional connection to the 1988 p-quarter is another aspect of its allure. Because holding one of these coins in hand provides a tangible link to history, a physical connection to an era that has otherwise passed, and a sense of pride, excitement, and accomplishment that goes beyond monetary value, allowing collectors to feel that they possess not just metal but a story, a legacy, and a piece of American cultural history. And the psychological thrill of discovery is amplified by the understanding that coins like the 1988 p-quarter were ordinary at the time of minting, intended for everyday commerce. Yet time, survival, and circumstance have transformed them into artifacts of exceptional value, a transformation that inspires fascination, viral attention, and intense competition in both online and offline collector communities. And the coin's $28 million face value is grounded in extreme rarity, historical significance, flawless survival, and collector demand, because while millions were minted, the number of surviving high-grade specimens is minuscule, creating a market where even subtle variations in condition, luster, or strike quality have dramatic effects on price, and professional authentication and grading services provide reassurance and credibility to buyers and sellers, further driving the coin's desirability, because each coin's grade determines its place in the market, influencing auction outcomes, private sales, and investment potential, and the 1988 p-quarter story is magnified by the narratives surrounding discovery and chance. As collectors recount stories of estate sales, inherited jars, forgotten collections, and chance finds that have led to extraordinary valuations and viral auction results, inspiring countless collectors to search diligently, hoping to uncover the next exceptional coin, and the coin's market is further energized by social media, numismatic forums, collector networks, and viral posts, as each new discovery captures attention, sparks discussion, and reinforces the legend of the 1988 p-quarter. Because the allure of turning ordinary currency into extraordinary wealth, historical significance, and collectible fascination resonates across generations, as collectors, investors, and enthusiasts understand that the pursuit of such coins combines finance, history, psychology, and human curiosity, creating an experience that is thrilling, emotionally rewarding, and financially significant, and the coin's technical aspects, historical context, scarcity, and collector psychology all converge to define its extraordinary value, because anomalies, perfect survival, verified provenance, and the cultural memory embedded in each coin elevate it far beyond its face value, making it a tangible piece of history, a symbol of opportunity, and a catalyst for viral fascination. And as decades pass, these factors intensify, with surviving specimens becoming ever more rare, desirable, and capable of commanding extraordinary sums at auction or private sale, because the market for exceptional coins is competitive, sophisticated, and driven by a deep understanding of scarcity, historical importance, and condition. And the 1988 p-quarter USA coin embodies all these qualities, illustrating how ordinary metal, minted for everyday use, can be transformed by time, survival, and collector demand into a legend, a financial marvel, and a tangible artifact of American history, and collectors continue to pursue it with enthusiasm, knowledge, and patience, searching through circulation, estate finds, inherited collections, and long-forgotten coin rolls, hoping to discover specimens that meet the highest standards of numismatic excellence, and every auction, grading report, and viral story reinforces the coin's legendary status, inspires new searches, and demonstrates that hidden fortune can exist in plain sight, waiting for careful observation, research, and luck. Because the 1988 p-quarter exemplifies the principle that rarity plus condition plus historical significance equals extraordinary value, and its story continues to captivate, inspire, and define modern numismatics, offering a tangible, collectible, and endlessly fascinating example of how a small piece of currency can transform into one of the most coveted objects in the world, commanding attention, awe, and extraordinary market value, as collectors, investors, and enthusiasts alike remain captivated by the thrill of discovery, the psychological satisfaction of ownership, and the undeniable financial potential of surviving exceptional specimens of the 1988 P-quarter dollar USA coin, face value $28 million, a coin that stands as a testament to rarity, history, condition, and the enduring fascination of numismatic treasure. And as new generations of collectors enter the market, explore collections, and uncover long-forgotten coins, the legend of the 1988 P-quarter continues to grow, solidifying its place as an iconic symbol of extraordinary value hidden within the ordinary, a tangible piece of history, and a perpetual source of excitement, aspiration, and financial opportunity, illustrating how ordinary coins can become extraordinary artifacts, treasured collectibles, and life-changing discoveries in the hands of those who understand their significance, rarity, and timeless appeal. Because the 1988 P-quarter dollar is not just currency but a symbol of survival, history, scarcity, collector psychology, and the boundless potential of ordinary objects to transform into legendary treasures.